Welcome to Adobe Live. I'm your host, Robert Generette III, and I am here with...
Rocky Roark.
All right, so in the chat, let's go ahead and get it started. Let's get live. I want everybody in there to say Rocky, like type Rocky as many times as you possibly can, just like the movie. And while you're doing that, Rocky's gonna tell us a little bit about himself, in case y'all are new to Rocky, the whole phenomenon of Rocky.
The phenomenon, yes. The legend, the myth, yes. I'm Rocky Roark. I'm an illustrator and designer based out of sunny San Diego, originally from Savannah, Georgia. I'm here today to make some awesome illustrations with this big guy right here. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So for those who are unfamiliar with their style, tell us a little bit about.
So I have a few different styles. I work in a lot of like flat illustrations and like what you see behind me, like a line work cartoon type style. People are always telling me that they're like, oh wow, that's definitely inspired by cartoons. I'm like, yes it is. But I try to be very diverse in my illustrations just because I work with a lot of startups and other companies like that. And so you kind of have to be really diverse when it comes to style.
Got you. I'm seeing Tyrone from Canada. He's giving us a shout out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Canada.
Everybody keep yelling out Rocky. I know Mitch is in the house. Kevin said that Rufus changed his look again.
Really?
Yeah, so he found out the secret that I'm actually Rufus.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's look into your portfolio, see how everything's going. Show us a little bit.
Yeah, so we're gonna switch over. I'm looking at
give us a little sample of what's going on.
Awesome. Yeah, so here's like a little bit of a breath of my work. People always love, this is like a illustrations series I did when the first Stranger Things came out, the first season of it. I created this like fun line work cartoon style of some of the Stranger Things cast. Eventually I made stickers out of it, but this is like the kind of style that we're going to be working in today. So
Waffles.
This is one that we're going to be focusing on. Yes, who doesn't love waffles?
Yeah.
But people can also check out a lot of my stuff on Instagram. I'm always posting daily on Instagram just because I prefer to keep everybody abreast of the work that I'm creating. And so, for instance, last night I shared this little King Kong illustration because this is like the kind of like the feel that we're gonna be working on the next 3 days. So.
Yeah. So we're here for 3 days.
Yeah.
During the same time slot. We got a lot going on. We actually have a challenge going on where we get to check out your work as well. So if you go to the upper right-hand side and click that little challenge tab, then you'll see all the details for it. And the details for this one is to create a robot using the same style as Mark Crowley. So jump on it. I'm not quite sure if we're gonna stick strictly with draw, but let's create the way that you create. If you don't have mobile, then I guess you can go ahead and use desktop, but we need to create those illustrations of robots, and periodically I'm gonna check in and check out some of your stuff live here on the air. So they'll be your co-star, so to speak.
Yeah,
today.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So show us a little bit of what we're getting into.
All right, so we're going to be working a little bit on a poster series, or not a series, but a poster today. And the poster is going to be based on that King Kong piece, which actually I'm going to switch back over to my site so you guys can see a better view of it. It's going to be like this one here. And I have YouTube videos up of the process of me doing this. The only difference is this poster was done in Adobe Illustrator CC, and today we're going to be doing it in both Adobe Photoshop Sketch and Adobe Illustrator Draw. So that's going to be a fun little change up. But we're going to be creating this fun illustrated poster. This time around, instead of it being a giant gorilla, we're going to be creating a Kaijū, which also means strong beast in Japanese. I'm excited to do this because this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm like, why not do it here?
Yeah, that's my nickname, Kaijū.
Kaijū, yeah.
Yeah. Also, in case I missed it, going on this week, we have live on the air. We'll be starting out our 9 a.m. block with Rocky, hosted by me. We got Mark coming up 11, And we have Kyle T. Webster, the mad scientist of brushes, coming in at 1 o'clock. And then we have Jack Jackson coming in, and she'll be hosted by Kathleen. So stay tuned, man. Like, just break rules and come in and see us.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to watch some of these other live streams as well, especially Kyle Webster. I got to be on the live stream with him at Adobe Max, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Kyle's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a cool guy. All right. Should we jump into Photoshop Sketch?
Let's jump in.
All right. Awesome. So I did a little bit of preparatory work here. I went ahead and did a light sketch in my sketchbook. And so I'm actually going to pull up, I took a photo of that sketch just to share with you guys. Not a great photo, but at least a little photo to give you guys an idea of what we're going to be creating. So the idea behind this was to create a Kaijū style movie poster taking place here in San Francisco, include maybe some elements from Adobe in this. And so we've got this like brief little, mind mapping exercise I did in my sketchbook. And then we're going to start actually sketching out this poster in Adobe Photoshop Sketch.
Okay, so generally when you get an assignment, is this the methodology or the process that you go through?
Usually, like sometimes I'll actually skip the actual sketchbook completely and jump straight into here. Since I was on Adobe Live for the first time in August, this has become a major part of my process, actually doing all my sketches in Adobe Photoshop Sketch.
Oh, cool. Heidi wants to know if you're a freelancer.
Yes, I am a freelancer. I've been freelancing now full-time for over a year and a half, but I've been freelancing almost nonstop for the last 12 years.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to keep that little sketch right there, but I'm going to decrease the opacity a little bit and then shrink it down just to keep it, at the top of mind. And then I also am going to do something a little bit different. A lot of times I will have, like, if I'm working on client work, clients will send me some reference material. But this time around, I'm actually going to go and look at Adobe Stock for some references.
And just for the audience's sake, what application are you starting off in?
I'm starting off in Adobe Photoshop Sketch.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to search in here for San Francisco. And I'm going to hopefully spell it correctly because I'm horrible at spelling. And I'm just going to look through all these Adobe Stock photos just to see, like, I have an idea of what I'm looking for. I think this is a good photo right here. So I think this is good. The one thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for just some background references for like skyscrapers and things like that.
Some good leading lines in there.
Exactly.
As well.
And so I'm going to go ahead and save this and open it up in Photoshop Sketch. Just take a moment here. All right, so I've got this little bit of reference material. I don't need to license it because this is just going to be for sketching purposes and reference. So I'm just going to move it back up here because we're gonna wait because we're gonna focus first on the actual creature itself. So I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna enlarge. Gonna enlarge this a little bit.
And for those of you who don't know, Adobe Photoshop Sketch is a raster-based drawing program for your mobile devices. And today, Rocky is using the iPad Pro 12.9, son, in order to get this done.
Yes, like I love the iPad Pro. I was using Wacom Cintiq before this, and I honestly did not want to switch over. But once I got this and I got a nice screen protector for it, I just fell in love with it, and I sold my Cintiq within a month of using this.
So why a screen protector? What's going on with that?
So the reason behind that was I didn't like how the Apple Pencil felt on top of like the glossy screen. It felt unnatural, coming from like traditional drawing, and I was searching forever to find a way to give it that feel. There was a lot of times, like I remember the first time I used a Cintiq back in 2008, 2009, it had that same feel, and it just threw me off from wanting to use it. Once I found the screen protector and I put it on the iPad, that's when I was like, okay, this is what I'm using. So, I don't know, I like the tactile feel of it. It feels like paper, it feels more natural. So that's always been like the reason behind that.
So it's that resistance and mimicking the tooth of the paper.
Exactly. That's that's the exact way.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're ice skating.
Yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm going ahead and I'm laying out the rough sketches for the character, for the Kaijū here. And the one thing that I always hear from people, and you probably hear this too from a lot of people, is that they can only draw stick figures, right? Isn't that like a common thing that everyone always says?
Yeah, I wish I could draw.
Yeah. And it's like, I always say, anyone can draw. They're like, but I can only draw stick figures. Well, if we take away this image here, this is a stick figure. Like, that's all you need to start a sketch. It's just a stick figure, and then from there, we grow upon it.
Yeah, that way you can sort out your proportions.
Exactly.
You can make great usage of your space.
Yep.
Nick has a question. He said, is it hard to get freelance work as an illustrator?
Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. Especially now in this day and age where a lot of startups are using illustration for their websites. It's actually not that hard. It depends on like what area of illustration you're doing. So if you're doing editorial illustration, it is a bit harder, but when you're doing stuff for websites and startups, it's not nearly as hard as you might think.
Okay. I'm gonna keep bugging you with questions.
Oh, that's fine.
Right? Because
I'm down for that.
my main man Christopher, he said, in your honest opinion, is it hard to find good clients?
For the longest time, it definitely was hard to find good clients. When you especially are starting out, the best mentality is to actually take on any and all clients, because you kind of need to build up that portfolio. You got to bring up that repertoire of work and everything. And plus, honestly, when you're starting off, you have to make that money.
Get money.
Yeah. But as you really start to grow, as you start to build up your client base, it gets a lot easier to turn down work, or to figure out, the warning signs if the client's going to be a bad client or not.
I saw another question. I think it's from John. He wanted to know, was there any plans of Sketch moving over to desktop? You're in luck, John. There's already a desktop version of Sketch, and it's called Photoshop. I'm not trying to be smart or anything, but it's actually there for you. Photoshop Sketch, I guess, initially started out as a companion tool, so that you can get work started while you're on the go. And it has a feature in there where you can later export it out and import it into Photoshop.
Yeah.
And of course, that requires that CC
Yep.
subscription.
Yeah, the one thing I love is that the software is free right now. And, you only need to have a Creative Cloud account in order to export it to Photoshop or Illustrator, it's easy. Like if I wanted to go and export this directly to Photoshop, I just go into the export icon, open in Illustrator CC or Photoshop CC. So it's super simple too. It's like a lot of other softwares, it's so hard to find out how in the world you're going to export these things or bring them in, but Adobe makes it super simple.
So it's just that easy.
Yep.
Oh man, I wish I could draw.
I know this is killing you right now, right?
Huh?
You're like watching me draw and you're like,
No, I can't draw
want
at all. Like I wish I could draw.
Oh, come on. You do an awesome job, man.
Boris would like to know. What up, Boris? Boris would like to know, do you use freelance websites for work or some other source?
So I use a few, of course, I have a Behance account. I have a few other accounts and everything, but for the most part, a lot of my work comes in through word of mouth or through cold emails. So I am one of those illustrators who does send out cold emails to clients, but a lot of things are referrals or from going to networking events. Mm-hmm. Sorry, can't speak this morning. But I found that lately a lot of the websites where you can post your work, they haven't been bringing back much of a return lately. And I don't know if that's because a lot of companies are hiring more in-house illustrators and designers, mm-hmm. or if it's just that they're looking at more of referrals over using those websites.
We got another question from the chat room, and this one is live from Brazil. hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, Johanna. She wants to know, did you study this in college or are you self-taught? Or both, because we have hybrid.
Yeah. So I say that I am self-taught, even though I went to college for graphic design. I started learning the Adobe all the Adobe software in high school. I worked in a print shop my junior and senior year during the recession to help pay the bills, and I learned everything. How to use the software. I got a kind of an eye for design during that time, but I did go to college. I don't give my college credit though, because my college was trying to put out as many designers as possible, and a lot of the professors, unfortunately, weren't tied into the future of their students.
Got you.
And so, like, there was a few gems. Like, I know that you're an educator, and so you understand somewhat of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hope I'm still an educator. But that's pretty neat.
Yeah. So I consider myself completely self-taught, because while all my other classmates were out partying and drinking and just like living up in college, I was in my home studio, learning as much as I could about the software, reaching out to other illustrators and designers to learn from them. And so, there's actually, I still have some old classmates who they don't have jobs. And we graduated back in 2013. So I've been very lucky to be able to do stuff like this, come on here and talk to this amazing guy, it's really amazing to be able to do all this. So, yeah, hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah. So, another question rolling through, and Helen, I hope you enjoyed the poster. But Kevin, it's getting into a touchy subject right now.
Oh God, here we go.
You ready for it?
Yep.
All right. How do you price your illustrations?
Okay. Whew. This is always a fun topic.
Yeah, y'all grab a seat, because we're about to get into it right now.
So, the first thing I'll say before I even get into my pricing is, if you are doing illustration for freelance, never, ever, ever, ever do hourly pricing. That is my number one piece of advice when it comes to illustration. Because as you get comfortable doing illustration, doing certain styles, you become so quick to where it's not like how it would be if you design like a website. Website makes sense to do that hourly. Illustration does not, because it takes so much less time to create an illustration versus a website. And so if I priced out an hourly rate for my illustrations, I would be getting probably 25% of what I would be getting if I did the way I do it. So that being said, the way that I price out my illustrations is I do it based on value, the type of value that I'm bringing to the client, and then also sometimes I will do just like project-based illustrations. So unlike editorial, I work with a lot of startups. And by the way, this is going to be a long discussion, because this is a very big.
So I told him, grab a seat.
Exactly.
Let's get into it.
So, like, for instance, if I'm working with a startup and they come to me and they want, let's say, maybe, a header illustration and maybe 3 spot illustrations, which are just like.
Well, let me stop you.
Yep.
For those who are novice to the terms of what we do, inform them what a startup is.
So a startup is basically a small company. Usually it's someone who just like comes with an idea for, let's say like the guys who started Lyft. Like, they come up with an idea and they create a company that, hopefully will one day blow up like Lyft did. So I feel like that's like the best way I can describe it. But, think about some of these massive companies, like Facebook was a startup. Let's see, what's another good one? Some other good examples of startups? Instagram. There we go.
Yeah,
great. Thank you.
That whisper came from the ceiling.
I know. Where did that come from? No, Instagram was also a great startup. But all these things, like, it doesn't have to be like a major corporation. So, like, for instance, I help. My main thing is that I help companies, figure out the type of story that they want to tell through illustrative means. I also help consult with just like the overall feel of their brand. I might not necessarily create their logo, but I might help them figure out how they want to reach their audience. And so that's basically how that works.
So basically, you enhance what designers create. That's the magic of illustration, right there, folks.
Yep.
Now, we also had some folks who were trying to get a little bit more information on what school you were referring to, like Mitch. And Krista even mentioned a certain school starts with an S. And see if you were referring to that school.
No, so I did not go to SCAD. I did not go to SCAD. I will say this, that all the power to you. If you want to go to a major art school, all the power to you. I prefer not to be that big into debt. I feel like you can learn a lot more through the street, so to speak, when it comes to art and design than going to a major university. I actually had an interviewer once ask me, they're like, we have people who've gone to RISD, SCAD, Art Institute. Do you feel like because you went to a smaller university that you are, not well informed or you are not as well off? And I'm like, before, I had to bite my tongue there, but I learned so much more just like by actually doing than some of those students will learn. But the university I'm talking about is Georgia. Oh, I'm already banned. I'm pretty much, I know I'm banned from that university. I've already talked to people at the university. They're like, I would not come by. So, I'm fine with saying Georgia Southern University. Shout out to all my former, Eagles and everything that went there. But I honestly, I'm fine with saying stuff like that just because, I wish, I hope that when I say these things, it'll make them better. They'll make them want to change.
Make them step their game up, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I tell people, if you want to go there, because it's good to at least, it costs less money, it gets you ready, and everything. But that's just my little opinion on that.
Yeah, I actually went to SCAD.
Really?
Yeah, I got kicked out of SCAD.
You got kicked out of SCAD?
Yeah, that's a story for another time.
Oh, God. I'm going to have to ask you about that later.
I got kicked out with a 3.7.
What?
Yes, it was crazy. But I got Mitch in there again. He's telling me that I should remind everybody about the challenge. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, while my main man Rocky is creating, we want you to create as well for your chance to win some very lucrative prizes here from Adobe. There's a challenge tab right there above the chat that you're in now. If you click on that challenge tab, you'll see inside of that challenge tab that we have a daily challenge, and the theme for this challenge is robot, okay? So we want to see you create a robot in the same fashion as Mark Crowley. So jump in there, get your creative juices flowing while Rocky creative juices is flowing. We have towels all in the studio, but jump in there, get started. Let us see what you got. Submission, how to submit, and everything goes inside of that challenge tab.
It's always great too when people get involved and they I know a lot of people who watch me do stuff like this. They always love to create along with me, and so I think it's great that Adobe Live does these type of challenges to get people involved.
Not only that, but you have an additional job. You have to judge.
I know.
You have to pick a winner.
They added
winner chicken dinner.
I know, right? They added another little thing to my what I have to do.
Yeah,
but it's okay though, because I know it's gonna be hard because everybody's gonna be creating such amazing pieces, but I think we'll survive.
Gotcha.
Coming in here with these sketches, they turn out pretty good. I'm getting happy with them.
It's looking dope so far, man.
It's always funny too, because it's like when you say you're going to create something, you're always very nervous that things aren't going to work out. I know that happens to me a lot. Probably happens to you too.
Yeah.
So it's like when things start coming together really nicely, it's like perfect.
Well, it's a mind state. You got to make way for that flexibility.
Yep.
And be ready to move with the wind, so to speak. Something goes wrong, just like the classic art teacher tells you, you got to create something out of your mistakes.
Yep.
And sometimes you can account for those mistakes.
Yeah, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's like it's pure luck. Like I'll start working on something and I'm like, this isn't working out. Or sometimes it'll be like, oh my God, like this is the best illustration I've created in forever.
Happy accidents.
Yep. Yeah, I know for me, like, and me and you were talking about this last night, like, you know, I took traditional drawing classes and art classes in college and throughout my life, but sometimes, like, you know, it's just by taking a look at inspiration, what other people do, that helps me get better at what I do. You know, like a couple of years ago, I could never have just like drawn this character, you know, here how he is. Like, it would take me a lot of time, a lot of practice. I probably would have been sitting here all day just trying to nail down this sketch.
Well, they haven't asked this in the chat, so let me ask. How has your process changed since mobile illustration came in effect?
So first, before I answer that exactly.
That's from Rob Zilla in the chat.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Rob Zilla, for being in the chat. Yeah,
he's a cool guy, too.
Yeah, he is, right? Before I came on here last time, the first time, actually, I had never used any of the mobile apps. I think I had opened them up. I had them downloaded on my iPad. I never used them. And then, Michael from Adobe Live reached out to me. He was like, hey, have you ever used the apps? I'm like, no. He's like, perfect. We're going to throw you into the lion's den and have you create live on our live stream.
That's classic Michael.
Yep, I know. I was scared. I was so nervous. First line I did, it was like my hand was shaking so bad. But no, like since coming out here that first time, I have been using the Adobe mobile apps a lot. In fact, Adobe Photoshop Sketch has become my go-to for all of my digital sketches for clients. You know, whenever I jump into a project, I always sketch everything out in Adobe Photoshop Sketch and get things going there. Just because, like, sometimes I'll have clients where we're getting started on a project, and let's say I'm up here in San Francisco. You know, I have to be able to jump in here and just quickly get a sketch out to them, at least started. So it's great to have these things like at my fingertips. Adobe Illustrator Draw, which we'll be using probably either later today or tomorrow, that has just become my fun, like, I don't know, whenever I'm, sitting in my car or having lunch or something like that, I'll pull that open, I'll just start creating some vector illustrations in there. It hasn't gotten into my client workflow, but it has been getting into my, like, creative juices workflow, which can be messy, as you know.
Yeah, that's why we have towels in the studio, Adobe towels.
Yep. Hopefully that answered Rob Zill's question.
Yeah. So somebody asked if anyone was working on a challenge. What's going on, Ryan Ford?
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what people are creating, and having to judge too. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Why do you guys add so much stress on me? Really, come on.
I'm gonna blame Michael for this one.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not taking the fall from him this time, but we're gonna blame him for it. So as you know, we have a challenge going on. It's robots.
Not Kaijū's, robots.
Yeah. I should have had a robot.
I know. I was like, I almost did a robot, but I am just a big fan of like monsters and Kaijūs, but I don't know.
Terrence asked if we were giving away some Adobe towels. But we are doing pillows.
Oh yes.
Yes, nice comfortable pillows.
Yes, I love the Adobe pillows. I have a good many of them at home in my studio. People are always asking me when they look at my YouTube videos, they ask, where did you get those pillows? Every time I go to Adobe Max, I actually set aside a budget just for Adobe pillows. Yeah.
Yeah, I first saw them when they used to have them inside the lobby here, and you would walk in and they're just on the couch.
Yeah.
I have one in my bedroom. I have the Illustrator one.
Hug it every night. Just like drool on it and everything.
I think before I go to work, I'll do the 2-finger and kiss it, similar to how they do like with a tree stump for a college team.
Oh my God.
Stuff like that. So far, how many layers have you utilized?
One layer.
One layer. That's amazing.
Yeah. I have the original sketch and the photo on their own separate layer. But the character here is just one layer. Now, once I get into, like, for instance, in my original sketch, which let me pull that up here, you'll see, like, I have, you know, Cyclops, and then I have a little bit of, I actually have Cyclops in, I don't know what the right term is, Japanese calligraphy written below it. That'll be on its own layer. I have, like, foreground elements here. Those will be on their own layer. And then I have, like, background elements, and those will be on their own layer. So I am going to have layers here, but for the most part, because I'm working on just this one character right now, it's just going to be on its own separate layer.
And you do that so that you can have that flexibility when it comes time to do the final composite?
Yeah, so, like, a lot of times the first pass at typography or lettering, I'll need to go back and, like, feng shui some things. And maybe I need to, like, increase the size of it, decrease the size, and having it on its own layer, that makes it so much easier.
We got Sammy in the audience. She wanted to know what's the best way to find freelance illustration jobs. And I know that you mentioned beforehand, like, one of the best ways is word of mouth.
Yes, word of mouth is always, like, the number one. If you're just starting off, I would reach out to local businesses. That's always a fun one. Stay away from music. We had that conversation last night too. Stay away from, like, bands and things like that, just because when it comes time to get paid, they always disappear.
Yeah, the song goes off when it's time to get paid.
Oh yeah, but my first freelance clients, which was back in high school, was local businesses, like doing logos and promos and things like that. I remember, unfortunately, I worked with. I actually call them, just because some of them didn't pay me, I call them wannabe rappers. I worked with some of those, and I did mixtape cover illustrations and fun things like that. But I would definitely say reach out to, like, local businesses just to get your name out there at least, and just so you can get started creating. But that's always the best place to start when it comes to once you get, like, more work under your belt. I always suggest, like, Behance is a great way. Like, post that work onto Behance, and you'll get discovered through that way. I'm also a big fan of social media. Social media is a big source to get freelance clients. I just recently got a couple of clients through Instagram. So, and that's something I love to do. I'm always posting on Instagram. You know, some of you might have found the live stream today on my Instagram stories, because I was, like, posting. This guy was making weird noises with his mouth on there.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I don't even have an Instagram. Yeah.
Your weird triptych. God, this guy drives me crazy with his Instagram.
I drive everybody nuts with that.
God.
I'm the third, so I got to break it up into thirds.
But hopefully that answers your question. I mean, like, you can find, freelance work anywhere. It's just, like, you have to really, like, put the work in, because it's, for the most part, it's not going to come to you. Even I have to put the legwork in to get freelance work. All right. I think we're getting close to a good spot with this character.
Okay. And just in case you're just now tuning in, we have Rocky Roark. He's working on iPad Pro using Apple Pencil. He's using a little application called Adobe Photoshop Sketch CC. It's a raster-based drawing application that got a ton of layers and some cool brushes. And speaking of cool brushes, you're going to get a chance to meet one of the mad scientists behind those cool brushes, Kyle Webster.
Oh yeah, he's an awesome guy. I've been following him for a long time, and I got to meet him at Adobe Max this year, and that was a lot of fun for me, because it's like, for one, I've never seen him in person. I was like, "Are you Kyle Webster?" And he was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You look so different from your cartoon avatar."
Yeah, I followed him once, man, but he lost me.
Yeah, like, I used to, I have all of his brushes for Photoshop. But once I moved over to here, he includes, like, he has, I think most of his brushes are on Omni.
Oh, yeah.
In Photoshop Sketch. But unfortunately, I'm like a one-trick pony in a way. I use the same brush for everything. So like, I'm using the stock graphite pencil brush for all of these, for this whole sketch right here. So like, if you look on the side here, all of these other brushes are all stock.
Got you.
Yeah.
Someone, I think it was Nick, he wanted to ask in the chat if you ever use AstroPad.
Yes. So actually, I think I saw when he asked that. Yeah, I use AstroPad because a lot of times I use Adobe Illustrator, especially like that background behind me with the skateboarder, the vlogger. I use AstroPad to get those to do this line work and everything using the iPad Pro. I use, because I know a lot of people ask when I mention AstroPad, I use AstroPad Studio, the paid version, the monthly paid version. And the reason why I think it's worth it to get that is because of the fact that you're using, excuse me, there's less lag, and especially when you plug it up to your computer as well, there's almost no lag. And it's just a lot more cleaner. There's no pixelation when, like, if I were to zoom out using the regular one, it causes that. So that's, I would say it's good to get the monthly version. But yes, I do use it. I don't use it a lot. I only use it for one specific style. So I don't know. I actually know the guys who created AstroPad, and so when I first met them, I was using a Wacom tablet, a Cintiq, and I told them, "Oh, I'm never gonna switch over to using the iPad Pro." Fast forward about 2 years, I jump on a call with them, and they're laughing at me. They're just like, "We told you."
Yeah. Eat your words. It's interesting. They actually use Wacom's software developer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, equipment to do.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So we have another question, and it's from a name that I'm kind of jealous of, Chris Kong. You want to know, do you have to have an iPad with a lot of storage in order to do what you're doing now?
No. So this is, so my girlfriend actually got this for me. This is the bare minimum. I've never come close to running out of space. I don't know fully like how it goes about saving everything, but for the most part, this is just like a sketch. This is not something that's very vector heavy or very size dependent. So I've never had to worry about it. And here, I'll even close out of this so you guys can see. I have many projects in here, many sketchbooks with a bunch of fun little doodles and everything. So like I never run out of space here. But yeah, I think like honestly, the iPad Pro, it's a bit costly, and so I think that no matter what, like this is probably the bare minimum model is good. But I will say this: I will suggest that you get the larger size. I tried using the smaller one, I think like a month ago. Was not a fan. I have to, like, if Apple came out with a, I don't know, 17-inch model, oh, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Okay. I actually use both. The 10.5 is the one that I take on the go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's small enough for me to travel around with it, whip it out, and get busy. But yeah, for most of these applications, you really don't have to have that much storage on hand. Of course, Adobe gives 2 gigabytes free.
Yep.
On the cloud, so most of these things can be stored there. And they even make dongles. That's a funny word.
I know. Whenever I say dongles, or
Yeah.
Oh god,
They make dongles where you can actually store things on SD cards now.
really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
I have one
need
in
to
my
look into
gear
that.
bag. But yeah, definitely a plus.
Is it micro SD or regular SD?
Regular SD.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, they made it for photographers, but illustrators, we can have fun too with that stuff.
We steal other people's technology. Yeah.
Candace says that she's streaming from Malaysia.
Oh.
Yeah.
it's always fun to see people from other countries. So yeah, if you guys are in another time zone, another continent, if we had someone from Antarctica in here, that would go crazy.
Yeah, where is everyone from?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that. I didn't do a proper introduction. Bad host.
Well, it's your first time, so.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I feel better now.
I'm glad I can make you feel.
Jan Erickson is acting up in the chat. You talking about find my dongle? Get in trouble with that.
Yeah. HR, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is I think we're good right now with the character. We'll probably go back to him and add a little bit more detail, maybe some more scales and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good to now move on and let's try and get the foreground developed. Holy crap, the chat's going crazy.
Yes, they are. We got Madrid in the house. We got Seattle. We got Cleveland, Denver.
A lot of Brazil,
Florida,
Germany,
Florida man.
Norway,
Belgium,
England,
Philadelphia. We got France. We got Little Rock, Arkansas. We got England.
Deutschland.
Again. We got Virginia Beach. Portland, Oregon. Austin, Texas. We got everywhere.
Okay, so I'm going to create a new sketch layer.
And Rocky's from San Diego.
Originally from Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia.
I can't believe that you went to SCAD. That's going to be an interesting story for later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit later. I appreciate SCAD, though. SCAD taught me a lot.
Oh, yeah, it's...
The year and a half I spent there was...
Year and a half?
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
See, growing up near Savannah, I would always see the SCAD students, and I'm like, my instant thought would be, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
What in the world? Because sometimes a local thing for anyone who's from Savannah who doesn't go to SCAD is just to sit outside of a SCAD building and just watch the SCAD students come out. It's always fun to watch them because you'll see the most crazy clothing, hairdos, and everything. It's so much fun. All right, so now I got the new layer.
Yeah, Nathan said he's loving SCAD.
Yeah.
Leanna says she's from Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, I'm from for any of those out there who are from Savannah, I am from Hinesville, Georgia, which is about 45 minutes south of Savannah. I just say Savannah because everyone at least relatively will know that. But I lived in Savannah just before moving out to California.
Sammy wants to know, why did you move to California?
So I had lost my job in 2014. I came out to California a couple months prior to go to a design conference, and I reached out to a guy I met, just asking, hey, do you know of any freelance opportunities in San Diego? And he was like, not really, but my company's hiring. And within a month, within a week or two of that conversation, I was moving out to sunny San Diego.
So in other words, you moved for love.
Kinda.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Passion.
That's the short story. Nick, I am a Full Sail alumni because that's where I went after I got kicked out of SCAD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Full Sail. I got an MFA in media design
Huh.
from Full Sail.
I know a lot of people from Full Sail. A conference I go to every year called Creative South. Shout out to Creative South.
Creative South in the house.
Yep. Whenever I go to Creative South, I always see so many people from Full Sail or a couple other universities down in Orlando. It's always great to see people from there. But yeah. Sometimes I do wish I went to a bigger university, but other times I'm like, I'm glad I didn't. All right, let's get some.
Nathan say Full Sail won't stop calling him. What up, Terrence? That's crazy.
Isn't it funny how your universities will call you up, be like, oh, donate.
Yeah. I think the recruiters are probably calling him.
Ah.
Yeah, they got a pretty tight recruitment department. We're not advertising for Full Sail, by the way. Helena said that she went there and majored the same thing as I, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got some people out there who who know what you went through.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I was one of those artists who felt like I needed to be in graphic design.
Yeah, I mean, because in high school I took 4 years, which the way that they had set up was the equivalent of 8 years of graphic arts. And when I signed up for the class, my teacher told me, "Oh, this is, video game design." So I remember going into the classroom, and it was the exact opposite of video game design. There was printers everywhere. There was iMacs. I was like, I'd never used an iMac before, except for like the Apple II. Dang, I can't believe I used to use the Apple II. And so...
Yeah, you old.
I know, sometimes I feel old, and then people are like, "Oh, no, you're young." I'm like, stop lying. But I did that for, 4 years. And so I honestly, until my senior year of high school, I had no idea what I was going to go to school for. I thought I was going to become a teacher like you. You inspire me. But anyway, so like I honestly had no idea what I was going to do. And then I finally was like, you know what? I like creating. Design would be a good source of I don't know, like income. And yeah, I went to school for design. Ended up having to teach some of the classes myself because the professors didn't know how to use the software. And got that I think it was all in all $50,000 piece of paper. And on Mother's Day 2013, I gave that to my mom.
Hey.
Yep.
Yeah. Some good stuff.
All right. Let's see. I'm just going to put in a placeholder here for the Adobe logo because I can barely remember how the Adobe logo goes.
I forgot where the tail is located. And we're right here in Adobe.
Here we go. I just took my hat off. There we go. So now I can look at little hack here. Because I'm going to make this building right here just with the Adobe logo in it.
Cool. How are you guys doing with the challenge out there?
Yeah, is there anyone who's
submitted already?
On it? Yeah.
Yeah, we have one submission already. It's by Claire, so she gets her name shouted out real loud. Claire! And basically she was the first person to submit in there. As soon as we gather a couple of other ones, we're going to take a look at it. Give your drawing hand a break.
Oh, yeah. It's like the one thing that they don't tell you is that as you get older, you're going to get like somewhat of like a carpal tunnel feel in your hands. That's always the fun part.
I can't use a trackpad now, man. My wrist locks up. Yeah, I can draw all day, but...
I use a trackpad to illustrate a lot. And the biggest thing is for me, when I have my hand like at a certain angle, it'll start shaking.
Yeah.
Just because the nerve ending and everything.
Yeah, we old, man. That's basically what the message is right now.
Yep.
Two grumpy old men up here.
Well, you're older than me, so.
Nathan, I'm going to rush you. I'm putting a shot clock up for Nathan so he can hurry up and finish this illustration. It's going to be a dope robot.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have these lines right here for now. And now the fun part. I don't know if anyone said that they were from Japan on the live stream chat, but if you guys are from Japan, and
we have someone from India.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, because that's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
I say that because if for some reason I don't get this lettering just right on the Japanese writing for this, I apologize. Okay, let me decrease the size here.
Well, we're a family program, so no curse words.
I know, I'm really hoping that I'm not going to say something bad.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to do is just do Cyclops. That's all I'm trying to say. So please, no one be offended. Okay, so I'm going to go and create a separate layer for the text.
Lemon Lightning says that they use a ergo grip for the Apple Pencil. I guess to fatten it up a little bit.
Yeah, because I know that you have a special grip on your Apple Pencil.
I used to.
You used to?
Used to.
Okay. I honestly just prefer this, this part is fine. Like, actually holding the pencil is fine. It's like the wrist sometimes, it if I'm sitting here drawing for like, maybe 5 or 6 hours, which I've done that before.
Yeah.
That's when it like gets a little painful. But like this will be fine. Okay. So I've got this going. Now I'm gonna go in here and make a fool of myself with the lettering.
With this draft table, you got 3 levels.
3 levels? Oh no, I'm fine with that.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
cool.
fine with that. No, because I have the same. I have a similar one that I use, and so I'm always like drawing at this level. No, I'm good. Thanks for that. All right, so let's draw some guiding lines here for the text. And I love this feature. I didn't really say anything about this, but you can go into the shapes and you can pull up the lines.
Hold on, do that again.
Go in here, pull up the lines,
Uh-huh.
and then you got this guide here that you can rotate it however you want. And you can, I believe you can, no, okay. So
All right, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That's your virtual ruler.
Yep.
It was modeled after the slide.
Slide, yeah.
From Ink and Slide.
Yeah.
From back in the day. So a little Adobe history happening right here. ZZ, if you don't mind me calling you ZZ, would like to know, how often do you sketch on paper?
So I don't know if we have the GoPro going. I think we can. I think this is like how we're seeing it, it's how they're seeing it.
Yeah.
But you can see here, like this is my sketchbook. I carry this around with me all over the place, and I do a lot of like fun note taking stuff. But
Grocery list.
yeah, sometimes that makes sense a book. But this was like I started doing this I think on I want to say Saturday or Sunday. I sent a picture of this to you.
Yeah.
But like I did like some rough elements because I wanted to do a separate version from what I was doing in the iPad Pro, just as like a little bit of planning, just like figure out how I wanted it to go. I did this whole page first, and then I did this pencil sketch here, focusing on the Cyclops and figuring out, okay, how in the world do you write Cyclops in Japanese? Hopefully this is right. If not,
With one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you write it in Japanese.
Really?
Yeah, with one eye.
With the one eye?
Yeah, Cyclops.
Oh. Yeah, because like...
I went above you.
Yeah, you went above me? No, because like I was like, okay, Google Translate, come on. I typed out Cyclops, and this is what pops up. Didn't tell me like what was like the actual word. So hopefully this is correct. That's what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this is correct. I tried to incorporate some friends who know Japanese, but I didn't get too many responses on that. So
Yeah, Munir, I won't be drawing today.
yeah, unfortunately you're stuck with me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I'm going on this trip with him. So I'm driving, so no drawing and driving. Right now.
Yes, because drawing is definitely a slippery slope. You don't want to be drawing and driving at the same time.
Definitely.
Okay, so what I'm doing right here is a little technique. I don't know how many people actually do this. What I'm doing is I'm actually drawing out the where the letters are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Something I have to do because I am horrible at figuring out the actual length of a word. Okay, so that's about how I think it's going to go. And then right below we'll have the actual like Japanese lettering for that.
So this is pretty cool because you're still treating the iPad as if it's paper.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so what I'm doing is like I'm making sure that I have all the lines laid out, just like how you would if you were doing this in a sketchbook. Ooh, and I see, just throw myself off. Yep, that's exactly how I have it. Christopher Moreno. That's exactly how I have it on my sheet of paper. So hopefully that is correct. Cyclops in Japanese.
Christopher, you get a line. Thanks a lot.
But yeah, so I use it just like how I would with paper. And like that's how I was using Photoshop as well, Adobe Photoshop CC, when I did my sketches in the past. Because I would do a lot of client sketches in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I found out about this, I was like, okay, this is what I'm using.
I'm horrible at doing letters as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess as a safety net, I will do each letter on its own layer.
Oh, really?
So that way I can get the spacing. So
So
I would draw that C only once. And then duplicate that layer once I get the perfect C. But then later I would take and use the transform tools to move everything.
Okay, and to squish certain, because like
Yeah,
all letters aren't going to be exactly the
that's,
same. Yeah,
it's like my little kerning.
I think like for the sketching purposes.
Yeah, you don't need
like,
to.
Yeah, I don't need to do that.
Be
But
loose.
when we actually go into Adobe Illustrator Draw, that's when I probably will definitely be doing that. Just because like, and to be honest, like what you guys see here is a more fleshed out sketch than sometimes like I send to clients. Sometimes I send to clients a rough sketch. But here I want it to be very detail oriented, and so you guys could see like the transformation over the next couple of days, how this will go about. Okay, because I know that we're coming close to on time for the challenge and everything, so I can go ahead and tell everybody. Like, should we go ahead and tell them like what we're gonna see over the next couple of days beyond just like the sketching here?
Yeah, let's go for it. We also got to talk about that that special thing that we both have in our houses.
Yeah. So so today we're doing pretty much all sketches. Tomorrow I'm gonna have this already fleshed out, so we have the sketch already done. And tomorrow we're gonna get started on line work, actually creating the line work for this poster in Adobe Illustrator Draw. And then from there, we might even get into actually coloring everything in. Hiding behind that Photoshop.
So what I have in my hand is our first giveaway.
Ooh.
And to get this giveaway, all you got to do is be active in the chat, but you must chant in the chat, Rocky. You get what I'm saying? We taking it all the way back to Philly.
Oh, God.
So you must chant Rocky for your chance.
Yo,
to get
Adrian.
this very same pillow that we have here.
And that was one of the pillows I got recently, too, because I didn't have the Photoshop pillow.
Yeah, and I guess for like $50 extra, Rocky assigned it for you.
Ooh.
Nah, but
if someone wanted.
if you wanted it, you have to do a special request, though. You have to DM him. But yeah, see, it's going wild right now. We got the hype going on.
God.
Super hype.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
So dope.
Do we have a count of like, okay, 523 viewers online?
Hey, look how many times your name is being said, B.
Yeah.
This is pretty
God.
cool. So, yeah.
I can hear
Pillow
the
hype,
chanting
pillow
in my
hype,
head.
pillow hype, pillow hype, pillow hype, pillow hype. I did that just like Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. But yeah, pillow hype.
So I'm just like, I just got this lettering right here, and just so you guys can see, because I know we're getting on time right now to do the whole challenge and choosing the winner.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could see the lines right there.
Oh, this is randomly selected for this.
Oh,
pillow.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going ahead and working on the lettering, and I want it to be, I don't want it to be perfect. Like, I don't want it to look like it's typed.
Gotcha.
So it's all like roughly done. So what we're seeing here is basically how each one of these letters will be finished off. So it's gonna be like all nice and rough. The only one that won't be this way is when we actually do Cyclops in Japanese underneath here. And like I mentioned, this will be, when you guys see this tomorrow, all the details and everything will be fleshed out. Because there's no way we could, like, I don't want to just spend, 2 days working on sketches. I want us to be able to move on to the next thing.
Got you. Rocky time. We on Rocky time right now. Someone's asking what's a good stand to use with the iPad Pro.
Because I know you're the one that actually got these in here, right?
Yeah, I got the draft tables in.
Yeah. I don't know what the one I get is. I always forget that. I'll try and remember to look it up. But I prefer one. I have one that it swivels, and so it's a really intricate thing. But what you guys have here is pretty nice.
So we do have a winner.
Ooh.
We got a winner, and the winner is Jennifer Birch. Jennifer Birch, congrats.
Woo. Congrats, Jennifer.
Yeah, if you want Rocky to sign this, get at him through private messages, like messages Behance, and if you want him to sign it, or if you don't want him to sign
Instagram. If you're like, just stay away, just be like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't want your signature, Rocky. Give me my pillow. You know what I'm saying? But have fun with this, man. It's pretty puffy. I'm going to squeeze your pillow, Jennifer. So, Congrats.
Yes, congrats on that.
And this is going to be going on all day long, folks. We'll give these fun giveaways away. And, of course, through the drawing that Rocky is going to select, it's the big prize. And
Yeah, what's the big prize?
what's the big prize?
Yeah. Ooh, should we tell them or wait?
Starts with a C.
Ooh.
Yeah, starts with a C. C.
A brand new car?
No, we're not gonna do the Oprah.
Oh, Monty, come on.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, of course, like if
How does a year of Creative Cloud sound?
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Yeah. And I mean, competition's pretty tight right now. We got 2 submissions.
2 submissions.
I think we might need to motivate the crowd a little bit more.
Yeah.
In a few minutes. In a
Yeah.
few minutes, we're gonna motivate the crowd a little bit more and show those 2 submissions. And hopefully the bar is already set for this to happen. Like, we're gonna set the bar for everybody else for the rest of the day.
And we're doing challenges like this throughout the whole time, right? Tomorrow and on Thursday.
Tomorrow, yeah. Got some great challenges too. I can't
Nice.
tell you what they are.
Even I don't know.
NDA. Got the NDA popping off. And so far, wait. Like, the bar is raised.
Ooh.
The bar is raised.
Yes. The
So
bar is very raised.
yeah. So we have a submission here, and it is pretty dope, if I may say.
That's really nice.
Yeah, some great details in there. They added a little special sauce in there by putting an Adobe symbol in the background.
Yep.
And we have a no pencil bot from Claire. Claire was our first person to
Oh,
submit.
really?
Yeah.
Very cool. Come on, guys. Get some more submissions in there. Give them a run for their money. Or,
And that's a good usage of blocking out, Claire, that you use for the different values that's in that robot.
yeah.
See, we draw, so we're going to use these terms.
Yeah. Yeah, like one thing that I wanted to do when I first sat down to figure out, what I wanted to share during these live streams was I wanted to share process. Because a lot of people out there, at least whenever I do my own live streams or YouTube videos, they're always intrigued by the process behind everything. And so the biggest thing that a lot of people are curious about when they see my work is I actually create everything in grayscale. So once we get into the line work, once we get done with the line work, then when we're filling in the values and everything, all that's in grayscale. And I do that so that I can worry about color later. I want to focus on making sure everything works before I jump into color.
Yeah, I actually do something similar to that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I work in grayscale as well. And I play around with a lot of opacities and blend modes. And of course, within these mobile applications that you're going to see Rocky use over the 3 days, you do have control over your opacity, and they even thrown some blend modes in there.
Yeah.
Which is pretty dope.
Yeah, especially when you're doing like shadows and shading, you definitely have to do that. And that's the thing that I loved when I first, in fact, I remember I learned it when I was watching you last time. I remember I was watching and I was like, oh wow, you can actually add opacities and blend modes to the layers. And so I really loved that.
Yeah, that was my way of mimicking using the ink wash. Oh man, and one sign of me being an old man is this. I forgot to mention the name of the first robot that we looked at, and that was by Ricardo.
Oh.
So Ricardo, if you're in the chat, man, don't get me. I apologize.
Don't worry. Tell me. I'll tell you where he lives.
Yeah, where I live in San Francisco.
Yeah, where he lives in San Francisco, or when he vacations up in Lake Como.
Yeah. What he said. So somebody was like, by the power of grayscale, I have the power.
Oh my God.
I actually think He-Man was roid raging
Oh yeah.
right in front of that castle.
See, I never watched He-Man, but it's funny because I know that was a little bit before my time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was right on time for me.
Yeah, but I do have some He-Man toys. So like I collect a lot of toys. I'm a big fan of color, and so toys is a big thing in my studio. I have shelves above my computer that are just filled with toys. And I do have some like He-Man inspired toys in there.
Which He-Man did you get? Did you get the original Masters of the Universe, or they did a reboot of them
Yeah, I think I got the reboot.
that was more anatomically correct?
Yeah, so the ones I got actually are from this company called Super 7.
Mm-hmm.
They have a shop down in San Diego. I go and hang out all the time when I used to work in downtown San Diego.
been there.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have these like, I don't know, it's like a mix match type characters where it's got like He-Man characters and they have different body parts. I really love those.
Yeah, you had to do that, man. Once your little cousin comes stay over and decide he want to chew up He-Man's fist,
Yep.
like his sword fist, and you just gotta pop that out and put a Man of Arms arm on him.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, now He-Man's dope. He got the Luke Skywalker arm popping off.
Okay, so I'm getting close to finishing up here, at least for today, because I know we want to give enough time for the judging. But I think, how many are we still at? 2? Or are we at more submissions now?
Yeah, we can double check.
Yeah, let's take a look. We're still at 2. Unless refresh. Oh, we got 3.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, if Jolly can resubmit hers, then we got it. But the link was dead.
Okay. Oops.
So everybody in the chat, if you got a He-Man question for Rocky,
Oh, God.
or a question about illustration, man, feel free to throw it our way. We're giving y'all some very valuable information here. We digging deep into the Rocky vaults. I mean, this guy knows his stuff, man.
For some reason, something all of a sudden is acting up. I don't know what happened. I'm actually going to have to reopen this because I think something went a little wonky on here.
And we got like 23 minutes left on the deadline challenge. Got the shot clock popping off.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. See, I'm looking at that timer down there, and I'm thinking that's for the whole thing, and I'm like, oh, wow, we only have like 30 minutes left, and then it's like, oh, no, we still have 40 minutes left.
Yeah, it's a time delay.
Okay. That makes more sense now.
And they know about your potty mouth, man. We couldn't have you curse live on here.
Hey, I'm from the South, We're
Yeah.
a little respectable, except for...
Yeah, I'm from the South, too.
Yeah.
I'm from South Carolina originally.
Oh, so you know what I think the problem is, actually? I think that my Apple Pencil...
Is our juice?
No, I don't think it's out of juice. I think I just have to maybe reconnect it.
If this ever happens to you, double check your nib and make sure it's not twisted or gotten loose. That can cause it several times too.
See, I'm like, yeah, I think it got disconnected. All right, so I'm going to have to disconnect this, but that's okay.
Use phone.
Just to make sure, because I don't want Bluetooth on, Apple Pencil connected.
And see, this is all evidence that we're live here at Adobe.
Yes, technical difficulties always happen when you're live, don't they?
You get to see workarounds in real time.
There we go, we're back.
And we're back.
All right.
So, Tina, if you look, Tina Tippett, I like that name. If you look right above the chat, there's a little tab above, right beside info that says challenge. So if you click on there, all the information on how to submit and how to share your URL is located right there.
See, this is another thing I love about this is the fact that I can just like rotate my canvas depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's actually a recent feature.
Yeah.
A very well requested feature.
Yeah, I'm excited to sit down and talk to some of the people who work on these mobile apps because I have some ideas I think would be really cool to incorporate. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I know some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people. We're not going to say their names out loud. I know some people. So, Jan, you got my Mr. T poster? Congrats.
Oh, I have that too.
You had that one?
Yeah, I got it at Adobe Live.
Yeah, Lawrence, a pity a fool. I'm talking like we went to school together or something. I look old enough to go to school with Mr. T.
Okay. All right, so we got that in there. I think what I might even do is try and reach out to those friends who know Japanese and see if we can't figure out some more characters that we can add in here beyond this. And again, I apologize because I'm about to probably butcher writing this Japanese lettering, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all good. This is just our sketching stage, so we're good to go.
Yep, because we can always fix it later.
Liana, yes, I made the Mr. T poster, and I saw some, I think it was Maggie. Yeah, Maggie. Apologize for that. Maggie said that she worked on a 30-hour project.
Oh, wow.
Right before the rotation was implemented.
Ooh. Yeah, like, I think for me, I don't use it often, but when I do, like, especially when I'm doing these detailed sketches, you know, you kind of have to get it in there. But I love, like, how they added that in here because it makes life so much simpler.
I think it gives you a more true or organic stroke.
Yeah. Because, like, other times you're, like, trying to, like, turn this and then turn the iPad.
Trying to do some contortion with your...
Yeah, you're like, or, like, you know, just, like, trying to go upside down.
So I have a confession. I did not think that feature was necessary.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, why don't you just turn the iPad?
So I can tell you that I kind of knew it was necessary because I have a lot of friends who they only illustrate in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I illustrate in Adobe Illustrator CC. And so they would always, like, I would watch their videos of them, you know, working on their work, and they would always have their stuff rotated because they would be using, like, Wacom Cintiqs over the iPad Pro. So I kind of knew that was necessary, and I'm really glad that they did add that in because now a lot more people are using the mobile apps to illustrate or to at least get their ideas, not on paper, but on screen.
Yeah, definitely. And Liana, you didn't date yourself. Everybody knows about Mr. T.
Fun fact, my mother and father met while the A-Team was on TV.
Ah. The classic van.
Mm-hmm.
And I can always recall Mr. T saying that because he hated to fly. So he'd be like, I'm not getting on that plane, Hannibal.
Yep. I never really watched any of the episodes, but I did see the remake movie. And that was pretty good.
I haven't seen that. Hopefully it's on the Flicks. I can check it out. JC wanted to know, does the iPad autosave?
I feel like Photoshop Sketch does.
It does.
Yeah, because like whenever I close out of it, or if for some reason the battery dies, which that actually happens quite often, it automatically is all there, so I never have to worry about it. Yeah, so it does a great job with like auto saving. Of course, luckily it doesn't crash. I think I've only had it crash once since I started using it.
Yeah, I was thinking like I never had a crash recently. Plus, we get to show them something a little cool too. You familiar with the time lapse?
Yes.
So I think that's part of why it auto saves, because it's steadily capturing.
Yeah. So actually, let's actually do that right now. So we have this open right here, and so you can go up to the export feature, and then right under send to, you can click time lapse. And right now it's generating the time lapse.
Watch how quick it does it though.
Yeah, that's the cool thing.
And we have less than 15 minutes left for y'all to get in.
Oh yes.
To get in it, to win it.
Do we have more people?
Let's double check while the time lapse is generating.
Yep. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
A lot more people.
Yeah.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay. All right, so we have the time lapse here, and so I'm just going to hit play, and we can see here how exactly I created this sketch in Photoshop Sketch, Adobe Photoshop Sketch. It's just I feel like this is a great feature, And I actually will sometimes share this with clients. I'll send them a link to the images, and then I'll send them the time lapse, and they're just blown away. They get to see the actual process.
Yeah. And I guess we never really talked about it, but sometimes clients can tend to think that we can just whip these things up magically within a short period of time.
Yeah.
And mind you, it's all good because they have their bottom line at heart.
Yep.
So sometimes showing them what goes into how these things are formed will give them a better understanding, and it'll forge a better relationship so that you may be able to work on other projects together.
Exactly. And sometimes what I'll actually do is, I've done this I think once before, I've exported this video, brought into Adobe Premiere Pro, and I will actually expand it out farther than what it currently has it. That way I can do voiceover and talk the client through the process, so they can actually get a good fit of like, why did I, remove this element, and why did I redo that element? And it does create this whole different engagement with clients.
Yes.
And it's something that when you're just starting off, you don't really think about that too much. You're like, okay, we're just talking through email. We might not jump on even a phone call. But for me, at least, process is everything. And I always make sure that all my clients understand my process.
Daniel say, let's do the time lapse again.
Love that movie. I've actually gone to shadow casting as a Rocky Roark picture show so many times, especially in college. I was doing that.
I want to know if you're the same Rocky.
If I'm the same Rocky, I've got a very similar physique. I don't know. Do I look like the same Rocky?
Yeah, he said, are you the same Rocky from the Rocky Horror Show where that song came from?
Yeah, I wish I was, because that guy was like nice and muscular. So, all right. So I'm liking how this is working. I can go ahead and tell you guys, because we only have about 12 minutes. I don't know how much I'll be getting more through here. When we look at this again tomorrow, I'll have the background elements more fleshed out. I'll have some of these foreground elements. We might even have some more writing in here. If you ever take a look and do a Google search of Kaijū, spelled Kaiju, Kaijū movie posters, you always see that they have so much text on them. And they always have these really intricate backgrounds. So like, I'll go ahead and just create another layer here so I can give you an idea. I'm gonna do it in a different color, because I want you guys to understand what we're gonna be doing, what we'll have tomorrow. So, whoops, and there it goes, it crashes.
Yeah, that's rare. That's a unicorn.
I know. This is only the second time it's crashed, and I want to say the whole time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Adobe Live again. We just answered your question on whether it auto saves, because you just witnessed a crash right here live. And
I can still pull up the time lapse and everything. Everything's still here. All the layers are still here. But
shout out to the design team.
I know. Thank God. Don't you ever use Adobe Illustrator CC?
Yes.
So whenever it crashes, it's always like before they add the recovery feature to it. Spending 3 hours, forget to save.
You bring back nightmares.
Oh, so bad nightmares. But yeah, so I'm just gonna mark this up so you guys can see like an idea of what I'm imagining with this. So we're gonna have like some buildings in the background here, and I'm using red just so that you guys can see it really easily. We'll have some buildings. We might have the Golden Gate Bridge, in the background here. And the cool thing is, like, when you do stuff like this, you don't have to make it exactly correct. Of like, for instance, you might not see this building right here and see the Golden Gate Bridge in the background here, but you can have some creative liberties with these things. And then I'm thinking about having some sort of like sunburst area in the background here that really calls attention to our Cyclops. My girlfriend was actually making fun of me because I have an affinity for Cyclopses, and when I told her that I was gonna do a Cyclops, she was like, "Of course you are."
Got your eye on the prize, right?
Oh yeah. And I think like we'll have a couple of little, helicopters, maybe, shooting at the the Cyclops. Just to give you guys like a little idea of what you will see tomorrow. And I think it'll be really interesting for people to see, you know, the finished product and everything. Maybe have a lone tank down here blasting at him. But I think that's basically what I'm thinking there. Maybe have some sort of block of text right here. Maybe even move it to where we don't have the Adobe logo right here, but we actually have it off to the side here. And have some like text with it, or maybe see if Adobe translates different in Japanese. That might be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be dope. And we actually have, we're coming up on the 8-minute mark.
Yep. So we have what? We have 8 minutes and 45 seconds left to submit for this challenge.
Yep.
And then
What's the challenge again?
the challenge is to create an amazing robot based on is it Crowley or Crowley? Mark.
You said the same thing twice.
I said the same.
It's Krilly, right? Short eye.
Okay, Crowley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm horrible with names, so it's always hard for me to say names.
That's part of being a teacher, man.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
God, all the times people got my name mixed up.
Yeah. Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Roark.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're doing a challenge of creating an amazing robot based on his style.
Mm-hmm.
Any other pieces that we need to add in there, or is that's basically it?
That's basically it. All the information that
Is
you
in the
need,
challenge tab.
It's in the challenge tab right above the chat.
Yep.
That's the part where I talk real fast and tell you about the interest rates and side effects. But all that information is right there in that challenge tab. And so far, got some pretty good submissions. I've been jumping in and out of there, checking them out. But you're gonna judge this solely by yourself.
God.
I'm not
the
adding
pressure.
I'm not adding any input.
Yeah, because you want them to blame me when I don't choose theirs. Okay, I see how it is.
I get to console them.
Yeah. Don't worry, it wasn't me. It was all Rocky.
It was all Rocky.
Blame him. Mm-hmm. I know how it is. You're trying to blame me. Okay.
Or I can go down behind the scenes and say, you know, I was going to pick yours. But Rocky beat me to the punch. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure you would do that. Yeah, I don't know why, but I think you would do that.
Oh, come here. Get a hug. Come on. Free hugs and chocolate cake. Get yourself a slice of chocolate cake and a hug, baby.
Oh.
All right, y'all. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Y'all got 6 minutes left
Yes.
to get in it to win it.
And in that 6 minutes, any last minute questions? Let's get some more questions in here, guys.
Yeah, anything you want to know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be here for the next couple of days, so you can definitely ask them, but definitely ask away if you guys have anything. Yeah, otherwise, I'll just talk about my adventure yesterday.
Yeah, Rocky is like the Wikipedia of what you need to know. The only dumb question, well, there's two dumb questions. One that you don't think about before asking, and one that you never asked.
Mm-hmm.
So, feel pretty free to come in there.
Yeah, I always tell people too, I'm very open about questions. I do AMAs, Ask Me Anything, every single week. Mm-hmm. And I always get, sometimes I'll get the same question. Sometimes people will preface with, okay, this may be a stupid question. I'm like, there are no stupid questions. Ask away. You never have to be scared to ask questions. That's the only way that we learn, is by asking questions.
Yeah, questions are dope.
Oh, yeah.
Got that little curly thing.
Yeah.
Somebody just got upset and bent. Exclamation point.
Gonna add a little bit of smoke down here. This will be like fire.
Heidi would love to know what your adventure was yesterday, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, so yesterday I got in, kind of early, and it was a beautiful day. Mm-hmm. This is my third time in San Francisco. Every time I've come here, I've never seen a day where it was blue skies, no real clouds in the sky. Mm-hmm. So I was as soon as I got into my room, I was sitting there and I was like, I'm going to the Golden Gate Bridge. And I took a lift all the way over there, and I basically walked from one end of the bridge to the other and then back again. Took me a while because I was like holding my camera. I had a nice like vlogging setup, just like that vlogger in that illustration behind us. I had my tripod, and I was just like taking pictures, talking to it. People were looking at me like I was crazy. But I had a blast. It was so much fun.
Cool. Yuri wanted to know if you could make the first Japanese character.
The first Japanese character?
Yeah, if it can fit above the baseline, so that it can be more.
Oh, so it's more prominent.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, more correct as far as.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's up a little bit.
Okay, so I'm guessing this like cross area right here is up higher, or I think I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this needs to be. I see. This part needs. Yeah, no problem. Like I said, this is my first time ever attempting something like this.
And we get to see the eraser too. So thanks, Yuri.
Try and get this. Yeah, good call on that. I was kind of treating it more like a J. So.
Oh, he said no, the baseline, and he used one of those straight question marks, the exclamation point.
Oh. So I'm wondering what he means by that. Exactly.
Submit us a hand-drawn version of it, Yuri, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
we want to really make sure we nail it.
Yeah. And again, this is just a sketch too.
Yeah,
Like
we don't want to do it with too many tries with respect to the way that it actually is.
Yeah.
So like shoot that over to us if you don't mind.
Yeah, and if for some reason we run out of time and we're not able to, the whole letter is incorrect proportion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got that going.
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes.
2 minutes Turkish on those sausages. So y'all got 2 minutes to get everything done.
Yeah. Yuri, if you want to, you can send me a DM on Instagram and like maybe sketch it out yourself. That way we're not going back and forth. But it's at Rocky Roark on Instagram. Just send me a DM. Let me know that you were in the live stream.
You can also do it through Behance too if you.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Yeah. So either one. I see Anna asked, do you keep pressure dynamics on when using Adobe Draw? So in Adobe Illustrator Draw, I use the pressure dynamics. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part of it.
What about velocity?
So I honestly do not know. I have it turned on, but I don't mess with any of the settings because I don't fully know what it does.
It's the speed on which you move it because it can thin out and thicken out based on speed.
That makes more sense now.
I got a funny story about that too.
Okay, we'll talk about that after this.
We'll tell that story tomorrow.
Yeah, because that might actually change some things up. But yeah, I love using the pen pressure dynamics in there. We'll talk about that more tomorrow when we're actually inking this illustration or doing the line work. We need a Rob Zilla versus Cyclops poster. That would actually be Could you imagine you like going head to head? That might be a part 2 to this.
Jan, don't pay attention, Jan.
Don't worry.
Nah, Jan is very important to our chat community. Caroline, I missed it before, but Caroline wanted to ask if where you find your inspiration from.
And we were talking about this too. We were like, there's going to be someone that's going to ask this.
Yeah, it's going to ask it.
So I find my inspiration in multiple ways. For one, I have a giant library of books, art books in my studio at home. I also have, I'm a huge fan of Pinterest. And every single day I go onto Pinterest or I go onto like Behance, Dribbble, Instagram, all these different areas. And I pull illustration inspiration, branding inspiration, and even UI UX inspiration. And I'm constantly growing it. And if you guys want to check that out, my Pinterest board with illustration inspiration has over 8,000 different pins. Just go onto Pinterest and search my name, Rocky Roark, and you guys can find that. But that's where I pull a lot of my inspiration from. I also will go through and, like, for instance, walk through San Francisco and look at street art and pull inspiration, specifically color, from that. I'm a huge fan of color. As you guys will see in the coming days, you can see a little bit here of my color libraries. I love color. And here we go at the 0 mark.
Yes! If you don't have it in, you're too late. But the cool thing is you can still submit for next session.
Exactly. Like
Yes.
we will still be doing. Is it going to be the same?
It's going to be the same
subject?
the same topic.
Okay.
And we got some people in right before that magic time occurred. So I'm organizing and getting everything together now so that we can have our viewing.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Oh, thank you, Adobe Live, for posting that link.
Which link was it?
It was the link to my Pinterest.
Oh yeah.
I am not afraid to say I'm a huge fan of Pinterest. It's like the best way to organize ideas. Okay, so how do we want to do this challenge here? Are we going to flip through the different ones?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I have them on screen and we're gonna look at them. Beep boop beep boop 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 bop bop beep boop 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 bop bop beep boop beep boop bop bop. For all the robots out there, I just told you how we're gonna run down this whole entire thing. But we have this one from Nick here.
Okay.
And
Great job, Nick.
Yeah, Nick. Go full sail.
Oh, wow. That's it's like a mouse cyborg?
Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And let me know if they catch your eye. And
We can go run through them all, and then we'll come back through.
yeah.
I like this one. I like how you're showing the depth because you have the ground, and you have this background. That's really cool.
Depth of field.
Yep. Thank you for that.
And everybody needs this right here in their life, man.
Yes, of course. Everybody needs a pizza robot. Are you
Yes,
kidding me? I would
pretty dope.
love a pizza robot.
Yeah. We have this one here, but I think it's pencil drawing, so
Is
I
it
mean-
pencil or could it be? Yeah, no, it is. Yeah,
it
'cause-
is. We can see the
Yep.
contrast is there, but we wanted to show it anyway. We won't necessarily be able to put this into the judging.
Did you skip one?
Yeah, it was a
Oh, okay.
repeat.
Awesome.
Yep.
I love how they use the quick bit of color to it.
They took an idea and executed, and they also used the shapes panels.
Yeah. Oh wow, this is really cool. Like I said, I'm a big fan of color, and this goes for if you guys want to submit to the other challenges. Using color definitely catches my eye.
Definitely.
Oh, here's that first submission.
Yeah, Claire.
No
And-
pencil bot.
No pencil bot. And then we have Ricardo.
Ricardo, great job.
Yeah.
It's like it's got that what's the
Apple Pencil and iPad.
yeah, what's the robot from Jetsons? That's what it reminds me of.
The maid.
Yeah, the maid. I can't remember her name. I feel like
Think
it.
of it right now either.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's like a J or something like that.
Yeah, she had like one wheel.
Yep. It's either
She
one
was on her
wheel-
last
yeah.
wheel.
Was
But,
it a wheel or no? She was floating. Was it a wheel?
I thought it was like one wheel under.
There was a character from Darkwing Duck that had one wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The robot version. And we have Tina here. And this is an alien robot, so it's
An
tech.
alien robot. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's like morphing them together. That's cool.
Yeah, it's tech that we don't even know about yet.
I know, right? Ooh.
And I
Teddy
think
bear robot?
Teddy.
Teddy Ruxpin doll?
Yeah. Friends to the end.
God, who remembers those?
Oops.
Oops. Can't find the image. Oh no.
Oh no. And this robot is sad.
Yeah, it looks like one of those recording, like those old what do they call them? Tape deck.
The reel
type.
to reel.
Reel to reel. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
I think it's missing a component.
Yep.
That's why it's sad.
Yep. It's like I'm not complete.
Yes.
Oh.
Yo, who?
Oh wow.
Say for real?
Rodzilla robot.
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
man.
That's crazy.
Well, that's what you look like as a cyborg. There we go.
Yeah.
They give you a bit more muscle tone too.
Yeah, man.
They really took the flexing the heart.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So now the hard part.
Yeah. Now going in and choosing through.
Yeah.
All right. So let's flip through them one more time, and I'll tell you to stop when I see one that like really jumps out to me.
Okay.
I think this one's good.
This one's good.
Yep.
I'll pull that down here. And let's escape. It's not doing it.
We have the technology.
Yeah, what is going on? It's not working. It's not working.
Oh no.
Well, in situations like this, you don't freak out.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. Now, where did the others go?
I think if you take your trackpad and you just like 3-finger swipe to the right.
To the right or the left?
To the left. To the left. There we go. Okay.
All right.
So we'll just like move those over when we come to it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pizza's good. Let's go.
Pizza's
to the next
good?
one. Let's go to the next one.
You want it in the selection or?
Yeah, let's bring it into the selection.
Next round. You made
Yep.
it to the next round. Uh-oh.
You have to pull it over to the other.
Yeah.
You're creating so many windows. Gotta love when it's live. That's when you know.
First time host, man. Let's
Yeah.
go.
It's all right. You're doing a great job, man.
Yeah, man. So we did slide that down. It's just a repeat.
Okay.
We have
I
something
like.
that's near and dear.
Yeah, I like this because of the color and because of the Cyclops.
Somebody did that research. So
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to say next.
next.
Yeah, this is a hard part for me because I'm a super nice guy, and so I hate like you guys have to put me into a crazy situation. I blame Michael.
That's what you get. Where's Michael anyway?
I know, right?
But we have a robot dragon going on here
We're
too.
gonna move this to the next round. This one, I love the use of color. Like I said, guys, if you guys submit tomorrow, add color to these. Like to me, color is a major deciding factor. Ooh, she included. Oh, she's trying to up the game. Okay, so we get to see here how she created. This is cool. She was going for color, and then she moved to grayscale. Okay.
Yeah. Robots are cold creatures.
Cold-hearted. I'm gonna say move her to the next round.
Speaking of robots, we got Mark in the house.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing the robot too.
Y'all missed that.
You know you have to do that live, right?
Missed out on that. Y'all missed out on that.
All right, let's move her to the next round.
All right.
I'm liking this one.
I'm creating something.
You're like, oh my god, we don't know what's going on. There we go. This one definitely makes it.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say next. I'm gonna have to say next. By the way, for everyone who's creating these things, these are really good. So don't think just because I passed you guys up that you guys didn't do a good job. So keep creating, keep pushing yourself.
Yeah, Michael put him in a difficult situation.
Yeah, because like this is difficult.
Oh, you didn't say anything.
I'm gonna have to say next on the Teddy Ruxpin. I'm gonna have to say next on the reel to reel. You know he's gonna make it into the finals. of course, like the cyborg Robzilla is going to make it into the
Yeah,
finals.
look at those abs, son.
I know, right? Like, yeah.
That didn't sound solid.
Oh man.
Yeah, solid
Was this the
abs.
final one?
Yeah, this is the final one.
All right, so let's go. Let's review these ones that made it to the next round. All right, let's go through and look through them all. I just want to quickly look. Okay, so I'm gonna say pizza gets a best in show, but it's not the winner.
Okay.
Because right now I'm hungry for pizza. I think you are too.
Slice of life.
Who created that one?
This was created by Matt. What up, Matt?
Yeah, great job, Matt. All right, now let's go on to the next one. This one's still in the running to me
Okay.
because I feel like this person who created this one,
This was created by Lindsay.
Lindsay. I think that she did a great job. For one thing, she's showing 5 different views of this, so
Yes.
she did a pretty great job with that. So let's go on to the next one. I'm gonna say Claire did a great job, but I'm gonna say best in show.
Okay.
So definitely a big shout out to her. There was more over, right? Because there was Rob. You were going the other way.
Let's go another way. Hey, difficult times on Adobe.
Yeah. Okay, so we got this one. This one's still in the running.
Okay.
Because this one, yeah, I love that detail in that.
And then it's your boy.
I know. Robzilla. Okay.
Young Abs.
And was there another one, or was oh yeah, the first one. Okay. So I'm gonna have to make the difficult decision now, and I'm gonna have to go with drum roll. I'm gonna go with the robot with the Adobe background.
Oh, Ricardo.
Yep, Ricardo.
So Ricardo is our winner. So, Ricardo, please make sure that you keep your eyes peeled. Is Ricardo in the chat?
Yeah, is Ricardo still there?
He's still in the chat. Hey, congrats, man. It's pretty good, pretty solid.
And I'm gonna go a little bit further. And I'm gonna do my own little giveaway to two of the people, to the person that did the Robzilla one. I'm going to, if you guys can send me somehow a message with your address, I will send you a free sticker pack. And also the other person, which was the dragon dog robot thing, the 4-5, yeah, that one. So those two, Lindsay and what was the other one?
Lindsay, and the other one was.
Do we have a name on there?
Jeffrey.
Yeah, so Lindsay and Jeffrey, if you guys can send me a DM either through Behance or through Instagram, you guys are going to get a free Slaptastic sticker pack featuring my Stranger Things illustrations.
All right, so
Yep.
we had Stranger Things happen on Adobe Live. So
Yep.
This is not no exception to the rules.
I know. I wanted to break the rules a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, Ricardo, man, enjoy that years.
Yeah,
That
I
year
know.
worth of Creative Cloud.
That
man.
it takes a whole weight off your shoulders to get that free Creative Cloud for a year.
Plus, it's delicious.
I know, right? Because you
Yeah.
have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have about a little more than 15.
Oh, we still have.
No, we actually have 10.
Oh no, we have more than 10, right? Because what time does this end? This ends
We
at
got it.
11 or a couple minutes before?
A couple minutes before.
Couple minutes before?
That
Okay.
segue.
All right, then yeah. So let's get some more questions in. Let's get some more questions. I feel like today was a pretty good day. This was a great time for you. Your first hosting of the live stream, right?
Yeah.
You did a great job, right, everybody?
Rookies. Come on, man.
I don't think you give enough credit to yourself.
Yeah. Rookie.
Oh man.
Little rookie host guy. Everybody, let's clap and give it up for Rocky. So just throw the word clap in the chat. That's how we show love on here, because we can't really hear you clap from where you are.
Oh,
I think we had somebody from Malaysia.
Yeah, I know. I thought I heard someone from Malaysia clap. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. So everybody in there, let's type in the word clap. We got one from Ryan, Sammy, Thomas, Wayne, Anna, Chris, Zachary, Donna, Anders, Ryan, Anita,
Thomas, Mitch, Kristen.
yeah,
Simon.
just clap it up, man. We can feel that love all the way from Adobe land.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
I'm feeling it right here, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Heartburn.
yeah, a little bit of heartburn.
Yeah. Tums.
So I actually saw someone post a question. Since we do have 12 minutes, someone asked, when you're starting off with illustration, should you post your work to social media? All the clapping caused it to push up, so I didn't see who it was from. But they asked, should you post your work on social media for feedback? And I think that honestly, I know I'm taking your job away from you.
No, you're doing good, man.
I feel like you should, especially when you're starting off. I don't I post so much to social media, but I don't ask for feedback much anymore. And that's because I have a large group of Illustrator friends who I go to and I ask, what do you guys think of this? Is this crap, or do you think it's good, or what do you guys think? But I think when you're starting off, you should definitely go and post on whether it's Instagram or Behance is a great way to post stuff and get feedback. They even have a feature. I think they still have a feature where you can post in progress work and you can get feedback from everybody.
Yeah, and they have this thumbs up thing that happens at the bottom of your
Yeah, exactly.
Behance
The
post.
appreciation, right?
Yeah, it really feels good.
Yeah. I think like having those type of things in there, posting and getting feedback, especially when you're just starting off, and also just keep creating stuff. I find that if you're just starting off, the best thing to do is create something every single day.
Yes.
I do challenges. I actually challenge my friends who are on social media and they're wanting to grow their social media following.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always challenging them to create things. Like a friend of mine, Mike Jones, who puts on Creative South. I challenged him.
Yeah, I know Mike.
Yeah, you know. Have you met him in person?
No. Get at me, Mike.
Yeah, definitely get on, Mike. But like, I challenged him the other day. He wants to grow his following on Instagram, and so I challenged him. Okay, for every day, I want you to create one logo, do one sketch post and one logo post, and that way he's pushing himself. He's trying to stay accountable, you know, with all these other people that I mentioned it to. So I always try and get people to constantly post and constantly pushing themselves to get better, because that's the only way, by generating, you know, creating things, drawing, doodling, whatever, that's the only way you're going to get better. If you just sit there and be like, I'm not a good illustrator, I'm not a good designer, well, you're not doing anything except for just like wallowing in self-pity.
I'm going to change the game, though. I'm going to come up with a vitamin that you can take to be better.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me some of that.
Yeah, Zilla, vitamin Z.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I always tell people. You always have to push yourself. You always have to keep creating, because when you stop creating, you're just going to become stagnant and not, grow anymore.
Thomas says that Inktober on Instagram is always great.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. I never do Inktober. I'll start with like a first couple days, and then I just forget.
I created a separate account to do Inktober.
Oh, really?
I never did it.
That's actually a good idea, though, because like for me, I found, at least with my following, if I post the same thing over and over again, it gets very dry and stagnant. So I always try and post different things. But maybe Inktober 2018 will be my year, and I'll be able to do a lot more.
Yeah, you do the Rocky Inktober. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining the R's.
The R's, yep.
R, yeah, just pirate curse words. On Adobe Live. It's been real fun. I don't think I get Rookie of the Year, but... Oh, also, this week on Adobe Live, we have these wonderful artists. We got Rocky coming up first. We got Mark next. We got Kyle Webster, Dr. Frankenstein of brushes, and we have Jack coming in last, pulling in, closing everything out for us. And Jack's going to be hosted by Kathleen. Brooke is going to be with Kyle.
Oh yeah,
Definitely want to tune in. Wow. You definitely want to tune in for that, but you definitely want to tune in for our next segment, which is going to feature Mark along with Kathleen.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm gonna actually probably sit back here and watch that, because
that's a dynamic duo right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to know which one's Robin.
I'm gonna leave that to them. I'm gonna leave that to them
to say anything.
Huh?
No, they didn't say anything.
I know, right? They're just like in their own worlds.
I thought Mark was going to at least do the deep voice. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Well, that didn't happen.
No. What time? So we actually still have time. Okay. So I saw another. I know, right? I'm trying to fill the time.
I think we closed out too early.
I know, right? That's okay.
Yeah,
but there's questions coming in. So
yeah, the plates that we were spinning before are starting to fall.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, they're still going. They're wobbling, but no, they're still going. No, I saw a question. Someone mentioned something about talking to young illustrators about respecting their sources. And I know we talked about last night. We had dinner together. It was very romantic and everything.
I saw a quick sketch challenge pop up.
Ooh, quick sketch challenge. Ooh, I like that. Do we want to do that? Quick sketch challenge? I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. I think tomorrow, if we have the same problem again, we'll do like a quick sketch challenge.
But we might have to evacuate the building because Wayne said that Kathleen's the bomb.
I know. Ooh. Oh, I hear the sirens. They're coming. They're coming for us.
Do they even have fire drills at Adobe?
I don't know. Do they? They do? Oh, wow.
Do you have to get
did you say they give out ice cream?
Oh, dang it.
Oh, my God.
Don't pull the alarm today, though.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
I would like ice cream, but no.
So, just to recap, Rocky, could you tell us what happened today?
Yep. So today, basically, here I'll pull up my iPad Pro and just to show you guys again what we did. So we started off with a simple a simple sketch here. Let me get this to full opacity so you guys can see it a lot better. It's harder now. So we started here with this like rough sketch in my moleskin notebook. I did this over the weekend. It's just to give us a little base idea of what we're going to create. And the idea was to create a fun Kaijū inspired movie poster. I love Cyclopses. I've always had an affinity for Cyclopses. I don't know why. So I created this Cyclops guy. Don't have a name for him yet. Maybe I'll call him Robzilla.
I need more beard.
Yeah, I know, right? He's got a little like
More
beard
kettlebell.
thing. So we created this guy here. I started off just like showing you the bare bones. We'll even, while I'm talking here, we'll open up the time lapse so you guys can see it. We start off with the sketches here. I wanted to get you guys as far along as possible in this process. I might go through and do a little bit of editing. Tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to be taking this into Adobe Illustrator Draw, and we're going to start doing the line work.
What is
for it.
Illustrator Draw?
So Illustrator Draw is this fun mobile app that is, I feel like the cousin of Adobe Photoshop Sketch.
Oh, but it uses vector.
It uses vector, yes. So just like Adobe Illustrator CC, we're using vector illustrations here.
Broad brush on steroids.
Yes, exactly. That's actually the best. I'm going to steal that. I'm going to start stealing it. It's mine?
See.
Okay. All right. Then it's the vector mutation. There we go. So we're gonna go in there. We're going to start doing the inking, and then hopefully, if time allows, we're gonna start actually laying down the values in there.
By the power of grayscale.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then on the last day, that's when we're gonna focus on getting color in there, and we're gonna really take this poster to the next level.
What's that other thing you wanted to do on the last day, just to get them prepped for it?
Oh, on the last day, we're going to have a little bit of a portfolio reveal. That's our review. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Having like a little portfolio review. We're going to take like 30 minutes or so on the last day, probably like after the challenge, and just go through and review like maybe either individual artwork or something like that. Try to give like enough time just to like see how people are doing, give people advice. I think like both me and Rob here will give you guys some advice, so it's not just me talking, because he's got some great insight, especially since he's a teacher.
I do?
Yeah, of course you do. Crazy guy.
Yeah. Someone's asking about iPad stands. I've used several, but my go-to stand now is going to be
This one right here.
the draft table by Elevation Lab.
Yeah. I think this is a very nice stand. There's so many of different ones out there. I use a different one. I actually have two.
But did you know about this? You remember when you complained about your wrist earlier?
Yep.
There's a cushion for it.
Oh, see, why didn't you tell me about that soon? Yeah, so there's a cushion here. Oh,
Yeah, it feels good.
Why didn't you tell me
feels
about
good.
He likes to see me in pain. That's what it is. All right, let's see. Any things? That's the one Rob uses and is on the table right now. Yeah. So there are many different stands out there too. What?
Nothing. You read it out loud.
So what? So what? Yeah. Well, people who are watching this, they don't always get to see the live replay of the chat. Yes. I'm used to it because of my live stream. So, but
Thomas uses a Logitech stand for his.
Oh, okay.
Some good
I can't remember what brand of stand I have, but
yeah. So I think we're gonna wrap it up, B.
Yeah.
And
good job, man.
What?
Hosting first time.
Yeah.
First time hosting this
There'll
guy.
be a different host here tomorrow. I did a horrible job.
You did a great job,
I
man.
did a horrible job. Yeah. Rufus in the house.
Oh yeah, and he's got a haircut too. Oh,
My man.
woo, suave.
Y'all should see him, man. Oh my gosh. All right, yo, thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
There's replays in case you missed all of this and you want to recap on what happened. You can even play it in various speeds, but be sure to check us out on replay, and we will see you guys tomorrow at the same time, same bat channel.
Yep.
Adobe Live, signing out.
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Bye, guys.
Do 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 do.